Well, hello, my YouTube friend. Here it is in all its glory, the mini Roadster from Peter Carey that I just acquired some days before getting to the ECCKS. So, for those of you who don't know what this freaking acronym means, it's the East Coast Custom Knife Show. It's done by the guys from 50/50 Production, and it's a great show in Florida. The first one was in Miami like 4 or 5 years ago, and they did mostly one every year. It's growing a little bit, okay, but there are so many shows now that this one is still a small one, but one that I appreciate very, very much because you get to hang around with the guys way more, get to talk more with the makers and everything, and it's by the beach. So, yeah, the package itself, I really love it. Hope that they will continue to do this show for sure. So, yeah, this one has nothing to do with the show, aside from the fact that I picked it up while I was there, and I bought it just some days ago from Randy, a guy that you may know. And thank you for that, Randy, because I know it was hard for you to part with that beauty. Yeah, it's just a fantastic knife that I am gonna review now. The design is the Roadster, and this specific one is a mini Roadster, which, by the way, is already quite significant in the size because I hate to measure, but I would say that the blade is a 3.5 and the overall length should be around 8 something. But it's a significant knife for a mini. The bigger one are really big, and that I couldn't certainly handle them. So let's start with the material. So we have here the handle and the material. We have here on the bolster this exceptional zirconium with this matte finish that I absolutely adore. Something that you can find also with not a lot of people actually. So they don't. It doesn't mark. You see, you don't have like on the polished zirconium the traces of your fingerprints. So this one doesn't mark. I absolutely adore that, and it's still shiny. So you have other people that do this matte finish, but it's not shiny. I know only Peter and Stan Wilson that get to that beautiful finish like that, shiny and still very matte and a non-fingerprint taker. So beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I love the fact that the screws he did it bronze to match the rest as the pivot. I like better. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I would assume that this is a custom pivot, but it could be Steve Perry. I'm sorry, Peter. I haven't done my research. I cannot swear this is a custom pivot. It can be, like I said, Perry, or it's a custom pivot. Sorry about that, Peter. But it looks great. It looks great because it has this very nice, like very it doesn't protrude, and it has this design that I like, and it's bronze to match the zirconium. Not to match, I mean the bronze and the black goes very well together. I love it, absolutely love it. And he made also the liners match to the color of the screws, and along with the black it goes perfectly well. So very nice. Now you have this junction. Something that I like about bolsters, they're only cosmetic. There are a way for the maker to make something that will look, beautiful with the contrast, and also to express his craft while doing junctions as this one is, which is basically flawless. You don't see nothing, not even between the bolster and the scale, but also here with the liner. It's absolutely flawless, like you can expect from Peter Carey. He's, always perfect. I haven't seen any of his knives with something that I would have to say, mechanically speaking, or I don't know, something to describe wrongly about the craft. Nothing, never. With Peter, it's like almost boring. You can expect always to have a perfect knife. Now, we have this scale, which is Westinghouse Antique micarta. Oh, you know what? A word about that, since I have now a lot of Westinghouse micarta. A word about this material. Maybe some of you don't know it, but we call it Westinghouse micarta. Basically, the micarta was invented by Westinghouse, the big electric company. They did it in the early 20th century. Okay, they invented that material that was supposed to be, and that is actually, they call it the steel of the plastic. Basically, it has all. I'm going to show the knife while I'm rambling, but it's interesting. Sometimes it's interesting to discuss about some topics like that. It's a material that is as strong as the steel can be. That's why they call it the steel of the material. But it does very well also insulation. They did it for the propellers on the planes. They did it for the inside of the refrigerators, which was supposed to stand for high and very low temperature. It is a perfect insulator for the electric. It's nearly unbreakable. You can torch it, it won't change. It is you don't know. I mean, we use the micarta and we don't know how incredible this material is. So basically, it's pieces of paper, linen, or whatever material, and you put some phenolic acid in it, and you melt that down, and you press it, and everything, and it comes to micarta. That is an insane material. That's why a lot of people like Bob Loveless love to use it on his handle. Basically, did mostly micarta, unless it was like custom order or stuff like that. And this antique, when they call it Westinghouse, I believe that it's still one of the sheath of the pieces, that are still done by, I mean, the remaining pieces of the company, the micarta of the company. The other one might be done by others. On this one, don't take my word for that. I am not sure, but calling it Westinghouse, it's because probably of the trademark that used to have that material. But basically, all micarta were done by Westinghouse. They had a bunch of them. And this, I haven't researched it. I don't know if Westinghouse still does that. But I believe that those were made. Actually, this is why they're really expensive, because those are the one made by Westinghouse and the antique one from the 20th century or so. Okay, so this is interesting to know. Some words sometime about the material. And that piece is beautiful. Check that. I love the holes that Peter does here. It's almost like a trademark also for him. A lanyard hole here, for those of you who like it. So this one usually is not really the type of design that speak to me. Not because the overall I love it, okay? But most of the time I am not really into straight design. This is straight, okay? You see, I like roundness, like, McGuinness designs and stuff like that, like Marsh and everything. This one is like, boom, straight, a pike. There is a little upswept on the blade. A little upswept, but overall it's like straight line. This is why it needed some time to get to me, but now I absolutely adore it. I mean, the scale itself would probably not do it design-wise, but along with the blade, it goes perfectly well. There is a little discrepancy in the design about the size of the scale and the size of the blade. Jesus, look at that. Here it's really massive, and here you have a lot. Of course, on a folder, the blade will always be closer to, smaller to the frame. But listen, here the blade goes really down. The pivot is down because of the design, this pointy business. Here, the blade went down, and here you can tell also that it could have been a little longer. But like I said, it goes perfectly well. It's a discrepancy when you look at it, but it goes well with the knife. The flow goes well. I don't know. There is something about this design that I just adored. And this is just like, I'm mentioning things because like you can measure it and you will see that usually the knives of that size would have a bigger blade, but that's it. Probably it wouldn't have been as beautiful as it is if the blade were to be, bigger. And this is why maybe it looks to me a bit more than a mini, because the blade is mini, but the handle is bigger. So it creates something that looks more like a more regular size. But listen, all in all, it's just description. But the outcome is excellent, and I love it more and more and more. Love that design. So straight here, a bit of roundness, but nothing crazy. But here a line here, look at that. It's like boom, light, boom. One line here, one line. It's straight everywhere. Boom, boom. No, here a little curve, and here straight. Beautiful, but straight. Now, the blade is a bit straight too. I mean, you're not going to have some recurve here, a little bit of curve here. It's still straight and it goes perfectly well. We're going to go to the blade then. On the back, we have these beautiful liners, like I said, in bronze that matches. Overall, the colors match. You know, this is like bronzish, yellowish finish, so it goes with the screw and it matches so well. That's why I love this Westinghouse zirconium combo. It matches perfectly well. Look at this dragon spine backspacer in zirconium, of course. Perfectly done. And this on the clip is excellent. Still, we have the hardware appearing. I wish that Peter would do more and more now hidden hardware, but I don't care. Here, I absolutely love that touch. He went for a zircotai clip. So, you know, zircotai, of course, it's a mix of titanium, layers of titanium and zirconium. And the finish of it is excellent because the titanium part is yellowish and bronzish like you would have on the liner and on the micarta. So it matches perfectly the yellow bronze that you have there. And of course the zirconium will be black as the black here. So that's a great achievement on the clip. It doesn't look much like that, but it's a great achievement and a great idea from the maker. It's just brilliant, brilliant. Look at this side, very nice, nice engagement. A little sticky. It's not sticky, okay? It's not sticky per se. The action is splendid. Boom. It fires like a rocket. The engagement is perfect, doesn't budge, but you can feel here. No, sometimes you can feel, but it's rock solid and it's, I wouldn't call it even sticky. It's perfect. Centering is spot on as you can expect. It's unbreakable and it fires like a rocket. Now let's go to the blade because it's already 12 minutes. Absolutely mesmerized by the hand rub on this one. Check that. Here you have a view with the iPhone 10 and the quality of the recording is excellent. Try to find just a tiny bit of imperfection on this hand rub. It is one of the best I've ever seen, along with the one that I had on my Salmon Arrow. And some David Mosier also, when at the time, he still made some hand rub. This is excellent. And the grind is exquisite. This hollow grind that you have on the main bevel is insane. You cannot appreciate it. I'm sorry about that, but it's just a brilliant hollow. The swedge here is very delicate, and this tip, convex tip here, is just brilliant. The overall shape of this blade is so unique, so aggressive. Absolutely love it. The jimping here with this kind of ramp that you have is very effective. And man, this is a knife that is done to be used. The grip is excellent. Of course, with this straight line and the guard of the flipper tab here, nothing will happen. And also you have this ramp and the jimping that is very, very effective. Very aggressive. Look, you see? You see, it marks, but it doesn't hurt. But it's an efficient jimping. So that's a very, very nice user for sure. The front choil, let me see. Yeah, you can use it as a front choil. It looked to me a little bit small, but it works well. Here it doesn't hurt, and you're so secure with the jimping that you can definitely use it for small cutting task like that. So yeah, I've talked about the action. It cuts like nothing. It's perfect. Everything is perfect about that knife. Absolutely, absolutely pleased with it. Yeah, along with the other Carey that I have, yeah, that makes to me now a very nice collection. And I'm like really, really, really happy with that knife. Anything more I can say? Not much, my friends. This is the first review of the knife that I picked from the ECCKS. I am still a little bit jet lagged, so I will leave it at that. And I will catch you very soon because I have a mark to present and I have a knife from Victor Barajas that I need to present you to. And with that being said, my friend, I'll catch you very soon for another video. It was a pleasure to do this one. Bye-bye.